There you
Okay, well, that worked out all right. We are
Uh-oh. Am I calling somebody? Yes, I am. I don't mean to call that person.
outside today here in Wisconsin. It's actually a little cool. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and we have decided on Wednesdays that we are going to try to do a live stream just about every Wednesday.
If
Uh,
possible.
if possible. And some days we'll scoot in a video, but we'll either do a live stream or we'll have something pre-recorded that we maybe talk to somebody. But we,
Okay, just we are.
yeah, we're as you know, we are the 1 million mile road trip, and I'm Tommy,
And I'm Meddena.
and our house and our business, and got on the road about a year ago, and we're trying to enjoy this great United States one
Amen.
mile at a time. Now, we were supposed to be, and I hope you don't hear a lot of road noise. It's actually behind us here.
No, it's in front of us. We're
Yeah,
behind us is a beautiful
yeah,
5 acre.
but
I'm fixing to get on
we
and see how bad it is.
we were supposed to be on the Oregon Trail headed out west, but we just could not do it because of gas prices. Gas is unbelievable.
Diesel.
I mean, diesel prices and gas for the car, but
Yeah.
you know, regular gas running over $5 a gallon today, right where we are. We got it at Costco. I think it's 4.89, but it was discounted. And then we got and diesel running over 5, 6, 7, even $8 a gallon. So I just can't. We can't do that on a fixed income. So we're gonna have to put it off for a little bit. We're full time. It's not quit tomorrow or anything. So we'll get it. If not this year, hopefully next year will be better. We hope in the fall to go up to Maine, but we're debating if diesel drops any, and where we could feel like we could, we might head out to Colorado, Grand Tetons, in the fall and see the fall colors out there. But either way,
Because
we
Utah
will
and
be somewhere seeing the fall colors. Either
yeah,
way.
so we're going to be
Yeah,
somewhere.
even if we just go to the Smoky Mountains and stay up there for a while, we are definitely going to do that. A few minutes ago, I will at something. Maggie took off like a blaze of lightning that way.
That was here.
Wasn't that?
Oh,
He actually just stopped,
Ma-
and she or
Maggie.
he, whatever it is, stopped and looked at Maggie running towards her for a good 50 or 60 feet, and then finally said, "Okay, I'll leave," and just pops over the fence and goes on. Maggie didn't have a stand a chance on getting it, but it was
It
it
was,
was something to
yeah,
see.
it was
Uh,
something to see.
we just had Memorial Day weekend, and I do want to pay homage to our family. This was my father at World War II, and my mother. Both of them have since passed. Uh, but my dad was in the army. He received a Bronze Star while he was in the Philippines, fighting in the Philippines. He was also in Philippines and oh come on. Her father has been in the military, and her brothers.
Let's just put it this way: from the Civil War all the way till 2010, I had a family member, a close family member in the military, either the Air Force or the Army, Marines. And then I think it was 2014, my niece married a young man that is a Marine. Still follow through with the
Somebody's in the military from their family,
from Civil War to
all that in there.
2010.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate what my family did. I personally loved being an army brat. I begged this guy to join the military so we could go to Korea and adopt a child.
Instead I became a police officer.
Yeah, but to
Fighting
me,
crime at home.
that's
Uh,
it. The way I feel about it is he was on the front lines here at home fighting a battle. And so I think that he's a veteran also.
well, maybe not in that way. But it is chilly out here right now. And I know these.
Let me get you a jacket.
I might have to in a few minutes.
Okay.
Or a long sleeve shirt.
Get your goose down.
No, long sleeve shirt maybe. Me and Meddena have been on the juice fast for the last 17 days, 18 days.
We're starting on day 18.
Day
in about an
18,
hour.
have not eaten any solid food and all juices and smoothies, stuff like that. I've lost 10 pounds right now, and right after this, we're going on
10?
uh,
No,
20 pounds. I'm sorry, I lost 20 pounds.
I was like,
I
what?
lost my train of thought. I lost 20 pounds. But we are getting all types of fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Now, this last time I think I talked to y'all, I was suffering from bronchitis and stuff like that. So, halfway through the week there, I felt like I needed. This is me. I was in, if I
Y'all
can
tell
get
him,
it,
bless your heart.
I
But
was
that's
in the
what he
hospital
wants.
ER.
Bless your heart.
Bless my heart. But I say this, a talk with the doctor there gave me some steroids, and he gave and suggested Dina had suggested get Zyrtec too. And after the first thing I took, and with the Zyrtec, I believe did it. It knocked out my sinus problems I was having. The bronchitis was caused by sinus drainage. That's what we figured out. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to tell you about that is whenever you're traveling and in a location, go ahead and figure out where your closest hospital and doc in a box is. We call them doctor box or doctor urgent cares, just in case you have some. Absolutely wait till the last minute. And I apologize. We are buffing some right now. I don't understand why, because I'm sitting right beside my Starlink. I have internet. But we are buffing for some reason. It might just be so many people are in this area on
Or
Starlink.
it could be that I moved the table back and forth today.
Yes, you may have not reset it right, so I'll have to do that afterwards. But we are planning on going after we come off of this fast onto a good, strong keto diet to see if I can drop the rest of my weight. Now, we want to discuss tonight some pros and cons about going full time. And I read all the time people are going full time right now. We sold our house, sold up this, we're going full time right now. Well, they're jumping in to this right here, and it's what we talked about earlier. That is the current gas prices as of the 23rd and the 30th, and it also shows you a week ago the difference and a year ago the difference in gas prices. And these are all up and down in some of the major East Coast and Rocky Mountains.
Yeah,
and
look at that.
in California.
A year ago, we were paying $2.28 a gallon.
Well, even in California, $2.48 a gallon, and they're up over $6-7 a gallon.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I don't know if it's the war in Ukraine. I don't know if it's because they did away with the pipeline, or they did away with put a lot of restrictions on the oil company. But we've got to have some relief. I know that.
And we're retired, so we can sit right here. We don't have to go to work every day and fill our tank of gas. So we feel very sorry for anyone that's having to do that right now, because I don't know how a young family.
No, you
say
a
you got
marriage
4
family or
kids
whatever.
2 kids.
Well, I see a lot more people on motorcycles here lately. I don't know if they've gone to that, but even a motorcycle, they get about 50 miles per gallon, so that might be, or even riding their bike to work for that matter. I tell you, we went out, what was it, Memorial Day? Biking?
Yeah.
Memorial Day, Monday, we went out, took our bikes out with our son-in-law and my daughter, and you'll see that video coming up Sunday. It was a really good video, and we had the best. It was warm. they were hundreds and hundreds of people out there riding and walking and all kinds of stuff. So we had time. But people are out there just trying to get out and do stuff and do it close to home. It's very difficult to do it on the road.
Teresa said groceries are out of control too, and the Gulf in Florida, we may have a possible tropical storm this weekend.
Right, it will. They're predicting that's going to go towards Florida, so we have to be praying that doesn't develop into a hurricane. Me and Dean are, well, I won't want to say old pros, but we stayed in about 10 or 12 hurricanes when we did live down at the Gulf Coast. She didn't stay as many as I did. I didn't have a choice. I had to stay because I was working.
So let's start. We said the pros and cons for. So tonight we wanted to talk to y'all about the pros and cons. We've been on the road. Hey! Stop digging a hole.
Our dog's over digging a hole.
No.
Maggie, no.
Stop. I'm sorry, guys. She's going to dig a hole to China.
Maggie, Gracie's laying behind us, and the cat went that way.
Okay, so anyway, we've been on the road for a little over a year this time. Last time we were on the road.
Okay, time out just for a minute. If y'all hang around to the end of this video, I got a special thing where I recorded the cat on how he gets out of the RV with the door shut.
Herbie and Mary joined us, and they said, glad to meet you. Hope to see you on the road. Glad to meet you,
Herbie. And if you stay around to the end of it, I've got a slow motion video of how he escapes. And he uses it now every time now if we got the door shut, the screen door shut to get out. It was amazing.
The pros and cons. So we were on the road 2.5 years in 2014 to 2016. Right. And then we got a wild hair and decided to open a business and redo an old house, a 1925 house. I'm not sorry we took that break. It gave us a perspective of wanting to get back. We knew we wanted to do it again. And so we sold everything and we did it again. Now, if you're thinking about that, there's some pros and cons. First thing I'll ask you, do you like your partner? I'm not saying do you love your partner. I'm saying, do you like that person? Do you want to spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with one person that you don't like? See, we get along great. We have so much fun and we buffer off each other. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't been some fights and fusses. There have.
Not physical fights.
So. Oh, no, because he knows I'd whoop him. But anyway, do you like the person that you're going to RV with? If not, you probably don't want to do it because you might not love them afterwards.
The thing I'll say is if you have problems before you RV, they're going to be magnetized when you get in the RV because you're living in such a small space. It's around 300 or 400 square feet.
I think ours is 450.
Well, when the slides are out, we've got about, it's probably about 400 square feet. But if you don't have and you have a little bit smaller trailer, anytime, I don't care if you have 1,000 square feet. If you
a big house can be,
if you have problems and you think I'm just going to go on the road and it's going to solve all my problems, would bring us close together, it won't. It'll magnetize those problems because you're going to be out there. You're going to be forced to live inside that RV together, and there'll be days when it rains all day, or 2 or 3 days you won't be able to get out and do anything, and so it's just the way it is. Okay. I wouldn't say that. I think that,
Yeah. Okay, so it took him 5 years to talk me into our first RV. And I've told him I don't ever see us not RVing. Now, with that said, we did see an interview that one of the YouTube channels did with a 90-year-old, 91. He started RVing at 90. Big old bus, and he is having the time of his life. He started at 90, and he's been on the road for a year.
I hope I'm in that good a shape at 90.
Yeah, me too. I do too. But, we don't talk about ever buying another house. We don't talk about settling down. We talk about the.
Let me show you what really captured our heart. I took this picture myself back in 2015. We were in the Grand Tetons, and this picture,
Y'all just got chill bumps, and it's from the weather. I love the Grand Tetons.
Right. I took this picture. We were out there one day, And that's why we absolutely fell in love with this area. It is incredible. It is an incredible area to visit. It's got all kinds of animals. You got bison. You have bear. In fact, she saw a mama bear with two baby bears on their back
Swimming
across a pond. It's got moose and elk and all. It's just tons of animals out there, badgers and everything. So it's a very very beautiful place. Very beautiful place.
Okay, so after 5 years of him talking to me about it, and my biggest complaint was there's no way we can live in 450 square feet and
with all our stuff,
with two dogs and a cat, and we can do it. And he convinced me. He found one online at one of these dealerships down in Florida, and when he did, we went down there. We bought it over the internet down there, and brought it
I'd
home.
never driven an RV, never even been in one, driven one. They took me down the road about 5 miles, took me back, said, "You think you can drive it?" I said, "Sure." So I got in it. We took off, and we drove up into the night. We were headed to Gulf Shores or Orange Beach, where we lived at the time. So we stopped at a rest area. I was wore out, and we parked between a couple of trucks, and we crawled into the bed, and I went to sleep, clothes on and everything, and got up the next morning about daylight and drove the way a little ways in, had breakfast, I don't remember, somewhere, and then we went on home. 40X Providence, and it was a great RV.
It was great. We sold it in last year to a guy that absolutely they love it. They're having a great time with it, and bought our dream coach, which was 2014 Tiffin Phaeton, which is a bath and a half, king size bed. It has a dishwasher, which I don't use. I use it as a drawer to put pots and pans in. I love the bath and a half. It's got the washer and dryer.
Although we don't use the other bath.
I do.
We don't use
Yes,
the
we
other
do.
toilet.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We got dirty
if,
clothes sitting on that for right now.
Stop it! I do use it. If
You
you're
do
in
not.
the other one,
You don't use it. That is not.
stop it.
Oh man, your nose is going, girl.
You stop.
We do
I
not.
do use it
We do
at
not.
least 3 times
We
in this
do
past
not.
year.
Oh, 3 times. We do not. Don't let her tell you that.
Okay, but if we need it, we have 2
Oh
toilets.
yeah, if we need it.
Well, we might need it again. Okay,
Yeah.
so anyway, we got our dream coach, and we absolutely love it. We are mooch stocking right now at a property with a friend of ours named Joe. Absolutely most wonderful guy. He put in a 50 amp plug. The sewer plant's 3 miles away, and the dogs have the run of this property back here, and they just love it. We have a great time here. Our tour is
8 minutes away.
it's
basically.
8 minutes away down the road, and so we get to see her as much as we want to and as much as she wants to. And so if he talks you into an RV, do you want a pull behind? Do you want to drive? Our Class A, I took a driving class, and so I drive the Class A with the Jeep on the back without any problem. Ladies, you can do it.
But I understand too about fifth wheels. I was first because they're more like a house, set up more like a house. When you're in it, they have the front living room. They have a fairly big kitchen. A lot of them have islands, mid bathroom, even 2 bedrooms in the back. So I understand that. But one of the things that she wanted was if she needs to go to the bathroom, she don't have to stop. Or if she needs to get me a drink or something,
Or
she
make a
doesn't have
sandwich.
to stop. Right. So it's you give and take, and then others, some drive just a small truck with pulling a regular camper, just small camper pull behind. And the one thing I say about that is a lot of times the ones that have the pull behinds are paid off. And that does make a big difference.
That does make a difference.
Unless
We bought ours used.
you bought ours used as 2014, ours is not paid off. I'll tell you right up front.
And it won't be for
It won't be for a while, but it would be great if it was.
Yeah.
I mean, and I see people online all the time on YouTube that say their Tiffins or their big RVs, Class A's have paid off. Man, I
We
tell you what,
look
I
for
would
that day.
love that day. I look for that day. I don't see us turning around and buying another RV. We're very happy with the one we have right now.
We are. When we got this one, it had 20,000 miles on it. The guy,
19,
yeah,
20,
19 to
20.
20,000 miles. The guy that had it, bought it, and drove it 3 times. He drove it twice to Canada and once to Florida. His wife would not travel with him. He had never turned on the stove. He had the fireplace,
the heated
heated
floors.
floors, the washer, the dryer. He hadn't turned on anything. The only thing he used was the bed to sleep in, the refrigerator to store some stuff in.
That was about it.
There wasn't anything else. And the toilet,
toilet.
the small bathroom. That was it.
But
He didn't even know anything about all that
I
stuff.
think that, you know, a single person, you could even get away with using a cab over for your truck like that.
Well, when I die, you can do that.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead. What
Okay,
else?
so if he the RV, then you need to decide. I say he or she because we have had people ask us, "How can I talk, my husband into it?" Just Class A or Class C or whatever. But girls, if you do buy a Class A 40-foot diesel pusher, I know it looks huge. Take the driving class. It cost me at the time $400, and it was 2 4-hour days. That's it, 2 4-hour days.
And she's pretty confident now. She is learning back. Hadn't drove it. We were out of it for about 4 years, so she did. She is learning to do it again. The only thing she has problem with right now is that if we're driving down the road and you happen to be a 3-lane road, and she's in the middle, and these trucks go out on both sides and they don't pass. They just
don't pass.
Hang
it's
there.
Like they want to aggravate me, and so I have. Hang on. Okay.
Okay, we got some buffing going. I don't know why.
All right. So what I was saying was,
you like to travel.
If you don't like to travel, this is not the thing for you. If you love seeing different places,
a lot of people just want to get on an airplane, fly 6 hours, look out the window, and say,
"I want my stuff with me."
I want all our stuff with us. I want to be able to stop if I see a little T-shirts. Yeah, I won't be able to.
Again, okay.
Yeah, we have dogs and cats, so we've got to let the dogs out every couple of hours to let them do their job. So we stop at a rest area or
they're usually good for somewhere. About 4 hours.
Yeah, and of course, Cat's got his own stuff in the very back of the RV.
Okay, we're gonna try to wrap this. I don't want to keep y'all on here forever. Okay, so do you have your things, or do your things have you? Because you can't fit everything in that RV. I don't care how big it is. You can't. You can pull something behind and maybe get extra stuff, but you have to decide. The first time we went full time, we had 2 storage units full, and it cost us an extra $400 a month for that storage unit. We had that storage unit delivered to the house that we moved into after we quit traveling full time, and we kept what, 1 chair?
Yeah. Is more really, and a lot of people say, well, I can't live without this. We took everything and sold everything we couldn't fit in the RV, except I had some camera equipment that I kept, all of our pictures, stuff like that, we store at my daughter's house, and she'll be able to go through those when we're gone. and do whatever she wants to with them. She's been taking a lot of that stuff and putting it on disc so they can play it on the TV, pictures and stuff like that.
She has her tax stuff, you know. So
Our
there
tax.
were
You
tax
got to
paper.
keep your
Yeah, you
taxes
gotta keep
5
your
years,
taxes.
7 years, whatever it is. We keep ours about probably a lot longer than we should. And I'll be honest with you, I had some guns that my dad had given me, and I
It was
know
hard,
we're
but
not going to be out here on the road. I mean, stopping and going hunting and everything. So I gave them to my nephew, which he is it's her brother's son. I gave him to him since he was, and it was just a couple of guns. As far as having a shotgun in the RV, I have one in there, but that's pretty much legal every place, and it's just for the last resort. If we'll do everything we can to avoid problems, but sometimes you don't have a choice.
okay. And one of the things that we've learned in the past month that we didn't have to worry about before, because when we made a plan, we just went with it, is flexibility. Because we were going to Oregon, but the price of diesel between here and there is
It
so.
would have cost us triple in diesel.
And one thing is we're on a limited income, and so we don't have money coming in from everywhere. So we know we've got this much in the bank, this much that comes in monthly, and we have to figure our bills.
Now let me just say, we don't. It's not like we can't go out to eat
Oh
if we
yeah,
want
we
to,
spend money,
or
but
if we want to go over here to see something. And we're still doing things up here in Wisconsin and putting them on. So Sundays we can have a video out every Sunday,
we
and
can't go
we
all the
hope to
way
do
to.
live stream every Wednesday until we get to the point that we are on another journey.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably be doing some videos on Wednesday, or at least on a lot more interesting stuff. We have a lot of good things planned, but it's just they're not going to be out in the middle of Oregon where we hope to go.
Yeah.
Not until gas prices go down. Now, just think if gas was down at $2.59, diesel was when we first wanted to get back on the road. Well, it's just unlimited. You can put 100 gallons of diesel in,
Yeah.
$250. It's still a lot of money, but we go 800, 900 miles. Now I put 100 gallons of diesel in, it might be $700. You see what the difference is? 3 times what it should be. So and it's something every one of us struggling with, because if the truckers are paying this,
oh man,
then everything at the shelves is going to be more. All your food's going to be more. And the thing about baby formula that roots me right now is we're shipping it in from everywhere. A friend of mine right now, well, he just got back from Belize, and he went to a store in Belize down there, and he said he took a picture of it. Baby formula was just stacked.
we chose to do it outside.
We chose to do this outside, and we are buffing. I don't know the issue.
Okay, there's just a couple more things. Pets. If you have pets, then you have to decide, because our pets can run free at several different properties that we go to. So, I mean, they just run free. And most of the harvest hosts that we stay at, they let the dogs just go out and run free. We clean up after our dogs.
We clean up after them, and we instead of reaching down and cleaning up with a bag, we have a little thing scooper that picks it up. We dump it in a bag, or in this case where we're at, he likes us to take it over to the woods and dump it where there's nobody over there. So it works out pretty well.
But I will tell you that our cat was an inside-outside cat at our house. Scratched on the door, wanted in, scratched on the door, wanted out. We thought this was going to be the hardest part of our journey. We put him in the RV and we didn't let him out for 5 months, and he escaped. And put him back in, and we happened to be coming here. We came here, opened the door, and I'd be dog if he did not run out again. So we were like, well, we ain't chasing him. We're here for 5 weeks, so he wants to be outside the whole time. He can just be outside.
He comes. We get him
He
at night.
He comes to the door and scratches on the door to come in. He scratches on the door to go out.
But let me show you this. I
Look,
said I was going to show you this, and I do want to because this thing is buffing so much. I'm afraid we're not going to be able to show it.
Okay.
This is.
So,
Yeah, he has gotten where I wondered. I had the door shut, would had the hole open because when he put both the doors together, sometimes you forget. I leave the door. Well, I had the little glass door open that hooks with the regular door, and I said, "Where's Moses?" And she said, "He was right there in the driver's seat a few minutes ago." And I said, "Well, he's outside now." I said, "How could he get outside?" And he said, "I don't know." And then we got to watching. Sure enough, it's not easy. I mean, he has to jump from the dash over and through that hole, and he knows when he's shut. He doesn't even try to get out when he's shut. But I think it's so funny.
okay, so my last thing to tell you to think about is Tommy's daddy lived with us from 1986 until 2010. So we couldn't do any of this before. We planned to go to Alaska
Well, plus
for our
I was
30th.
working.
Well, we planned to go to Alaska for our 30th anniversary, and he fell and broke his leg. So we didn't get to do that. So we're going to Alaska sometime. But, you know, you got to think about your family. You know, are your parents elderly? Are they still alive? You know, we go to see my dad every couple of months. We make sure we go back and stay there for 2 or 3 weeks. So I get to see him. But your children, see, this works best for us because our daughter lives in Milwaukee, our son lives in Nashville. So this way we get to see them both. Now we haven't found a place in Nashville that we can
That's real close.
That's real close that we can park long term there and visit with him. But my dad lives an hour away from him, so we can park on my dad's property, plug in, have full service. Not we don't have we have to go dump our tank still, but anyway, we have basically full. You know, we got electrical, and then we can go see our son. But so you got to consider the, you know, how are your kids gonna feel about you? You know, if you decide to sell your home, I will tell you, when we unloaded everything, it was freeing for us.
Yeah, it was.
So,
and
if y'all have any questions you want to ask us, I feel like I'm crawling with bugs. If y'all have any questions,
it's chilly. It's getting chilly tonight.
Poor baby, he's gonna have to get his goose down now.
No, not that bad.
He wears his goose down all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm a little upset tonight. I'm upset at FedEx. I'll give them a downer. One of these down. They delivered. I ordered a flagpole thing to put the um, Starlink on the back of the RV, so when we travel, I can just put it up there. And they delivered it to the wrong house, and I have heard nothing from them after filing a case with them all day today, and all day yesterday. And get this: when I called to find out if what was update on it, guess where I talked to them? The Philippines.
Of course.
So I talked to the Philippines, and she said this case is still open. They're investigating. I said, how about just do this? How about go and ask the driver where he delivered it to? Yeah. I mean, it's not like he has the whole state here. You know, he delivers the same address all the time. But
okay,
very dissatisfied with FedEx right now.
So we hope y'all enjoyed tonight with us.
It'll be longer, I would say, in the future when we make sure we have strong enough. The internet here with this Starlink is just because we're in a congested area to start with.
I think they just want. I don't think they want longer. You don't want to sit in front of a computer and watch two old.
You see that?
A gray-headed scalp.
She said, "Oh, trim your hair. It'll be just trimmed." Okay. Guess what?
Red. How do you plan your trips and decide on where you're staying?
We use Harvest Host. We try to stay at Harvest Host the very most.
Going on the trip.
If you're not, well, just like we were going to our trip that we put off this time because of normally try to stay in Harvest Host. Now, if you're not a member of Harvest Host and you'd like to join, we have a link in our description that give you 15% off if you join through us. Our link, we'll get
Host.
$5, $10, whatever off for the year. But we've been a member of Harvest Host for a few years, and it is just awesome. It is, love it.
And
Never stayed at a host we didn't like.
I know, and all the hosts that we've been to, they've said all the RVers have been so great. You know,
And you on the Harvest Host, when you stay with them, you give them a review and they give you a review. So it's, I mean, it goes both ways. But they want you to look at girls.
Come here. He wants to go climb.
Run up the tree for a little bit.
Harvest. There's 7,200
more. No, there's like right now. I want to say there's over 10,000 of them. There's a bunch. If you go to the Harvest Host website, it would tell you how many hosts. But and also they also own Welcome now. Also, they owns both of them. Dockers Welcome. 1,000 trails. I'm not. Only thing I'm gonna tell you, I've got some mixed reviews on 1,000 trails. We stayed at a couple of parks, and we'll do I want to do a full review on 1,000 trails after we stay at more than just a couple of parks. I don't want to tell you the park we stayed at. The one park we stayed at, the actual park, they had gravel pads. What wasn't that bad. It wasn't that level, but the bathroom, it was clean, but they were like, there's a picture. If you go and look at that video back there, that's what I highly recommend you look at that video.
You can look at our Harvest Host
It's
videos.
Good, Bad, and Ugly, Harvest Host. And that it
Not
tells
Harvest
about
Host,
it.
1,000 trails. Harvest Host.
No, I'm sorry. 1,000 trails. I'm getting mixed up here. Harvest Host is great. I never had a problem with Harvest Host.
Come here, girl.
1,000 Trails is the one that I had. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Stop chasing that cat. Come here.
We had.
I'm sorry, y'all.
We just had. The only bad experience I had was that it wasn't really bad. It was just.
Red.
The bathrooms.
They have.
They were kind of subpar.
But they said they've only done wineries. There's a winery in Alabama near Auburn that they have full hookups.
Yeah, that one was great near Auburn. That winery up there. But we've stayed at a few wineries, but we stay in
Biloxi.
Yeah, we stayed at President Jefferson's home in Biloxi.
It was
awesome.
Oh my God.
We stayed at like museums, like the RV Museum and
Corvette Museum.
And the Corvette Museum, not the big Corvette Museum in Indianapolis, but there's another one up there, a Corvette Museum we've done.
Excuse me a minute. Let me go get it.
And
Come here.
And then we've stayed at a bunch of farms and a bunch of I don't know. We stayed at a blueberry farm. We've stayed at another farm that had all kinds of things growing on it, just general produce. But it's a great place too. If you stay there, then you can partake of their vegetables and their like blueberry farm. They even told us that we could come back and stay more than one night. We could stay 2 or 3.
They asked us to stay.
Yeah, they asked us to stay actually. So I mean, good people, just real good people. And I'm gonna tell you something about our dogs chasing our cat. They're not. If they caught up with him, all they do is smell.
No, it's just that they're over in another yard.
Yeah.
All right. So Comp said she's getting off because they've got thunderstorms.
Yeah. A lot of thunderstorms, a lot of bad weather in the country right now. We're fortunate we have clear skies, but it's supposed to get down. It's supposed to be 60s all next week, 50s, 60s, and low 70s, which is great for me in June. Because if I was home, if we were down in Tennessee or Alabama, it'd be like living on the sun, is what I call it.
Yeah, probably.
All
right, guys.
So listen, we're sorry we had problems with buffing it, but a lot of buffing tonight. It's just because we're in an area that there is congested area for Starlink, and plus we got still some trees until we get everything figured out, and
And
I want to do a good review too when we get out there boondocking for
if
sure.
you have any questions or comments or ideas
Yeah,
for us,
exactly right.
hey, send us some ideas.
And if you're new here, we would sure appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and click that little bell, and that'll let you know when we got something coming out. And give us a thumbs up if we're any good, or give us a thumbs down. The algorithm on YouTube responds either way.
Hey, and by the way, we're going to have a video of us on the field of Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, that's
come here.
Matt Gracie. Gracie,
Oh my gosh.
go get your cat. Go get your little dog.
Anyway.
Yeah, supposedly this is what's going on. To give a little heads up, my daughter bought us some tickets. Apologize for all the buffing it is. It's getting dark here. And the dogs, you know how the dogs are. But we hope